And we are back, everybody. It is another episode of From the Pocket coming at you on another Monday. It is July when you're probably hearing this. So, Christian, we got like 3 weeks left at this point. Technically for us, it's June, but how you feeling about prediction season being right around the corner?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I just feel like I
It
gotta
is.
know a lot of stuff, and I'm like,
It's just, I'm dreading it because I'm going to want to do so much this year for it. Like, I'm going to be picking breakout players and like X Factor. It's going to be a very involved process. But we're not doing that today. Today, we are just talking about breakout players for each team in the NFC. Again, as we said in the AFC episode, it's not so much breakout players only. It's kind of any player we find interesting. We have some coaches in there. I might talk about some position groups. It's kind of a smorgasbord. Again,
we talk about it all.
Yeah, as I said in the AFC episode, it's an excuse to just talk some football. You know how it is. So with that in mind, Christian, I wanted to go ahead and start with, I feel like the division that is obviously getting the most attention because it's just an arms race. The NFC West.
Oh, okay.
You're probably thinking the NFC North, huh?
No, I was thinking the East.
Yeah, I mean, we got some powerful divisions. It's true, but I mean, the West has 3 Super Bowl contenders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, with the one already,
Arizona
already
might be
the favorite, traded for a player, and became more of the favorite. Like,
no, it's very impressive. But Christian, I wanted to start with the Cardinals, get them out of the way.
Okay, I was like, arms race. I'm like, the
Look,
Cardinals
I'm going to start with my player for the Cardinals. I went with Walter Nolan.
Okay.
Walter Nolan he was a rookie last season, but he missed a lot of time with injury.
Cardinals going to be in contention?
It doesn't matter. He's just a monster of a defensive tackle.
Cardinals going to be in contention?
Jake? Well, no, of course not.
Okay.
I mean, of course not.
It's a 3 teams.
It's a 3 teams race, but like Walter Nolan, like
with the participation.
He's going to be somebody worth watching because, again, blowing up the game against my Cowboys. If you saw him, I think he played in 6 games last year. He had a 14% pressure rate from the defensive tackle spot. That is like elite level stuff. That is pretty absurd. If you had carried out that pressure rate over a full season, he would have led defensive tackles. So, again, small sample size, but like, I mean, he was drafted as a top 10 player, like for a reason. You know what I mean? Or he might have been mid first round. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was a first round pick. So I'm very excited about Walter Nolan. I think he is going to be somebody we're talking about at the end of the season, even though he plays for a bad team. This guy is one of the best at his respective positions in the league. I'll let you pass. I had one more person, but I don't want to hog the mic. So who you got, Christian?
No, Jake, you're good. I went with a very easy pick, like, safe pick. I'm just going with Jeremiah Love. I mean, he's gonna be this team, like, essentially, right? Like, the Arizona Cardinals are in a contract dispute with Jacoby Brissett right now. This team is not winning a lot of games this year. They might win some where just look up and be like, oh, the Cardinals won a tight ball game where the team had like 5 turnovers or whatever, or they just have a good win. But Jeremiah Love. I think he's going to be the focus of this offense. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a lot older. I don't know, how old is Jacoby Brissett?
I can look that up, but keep talking.
5. So like, yeah, he's not going to be like this guy that will, going to be throwing for like 290 yards plus, like 250 yards plus a game over the season. So it's going to be Jeremiah Love to, be that bell cow. I mean, they still do have a solid running back room. We talked about this before. Hopping on.
They have I love their running back room. I mean,
so they still have pretty solid. Who's in their running?
They have James Conner. They brought in Tyler Algier, and they now have Jeremiah Love. Trey Benson is still there, but I think Trey Benson will probably get traded if I had to guess.
So like they'll probably rotate him in. I think you said like Bijan had like 250 carries in his rookie year. So I think probably not putting all the load on him in the beginning, because like we said, this is a really, really tough division. All these teams, the Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, can all make the Super Bowl this upcoming season. So it's tough. So
it's gonna be tough
that's
sledding,
six games. That's 6 games in your season. That's like we gotta. I know their defense. They've been drafting
a lot of
these
injuries.
A lot of injuries, and they've been investing so heavily on the defensive side of the ball in these upcoming drafts, but we just haven't been able to see them all because
Walter Nolan, prime example.
Injured.
It's been Walter Nolan's a prime example of that. Yeah.
If this defense could has a healthy season, like we could see a very young up and coming defensive unit that will just need their quarterback in eventually. And so I kind of come around on the Jeremiah Love draft pick. And I feel like what you said, Jake, also is like, this is like our pick for the future.
Yeah. I think, like, I get picking Jeremiah Love. I think that's a totally valid pick in this exercise. There's a chance that, like, he could end up being a top 10 running back at the end of the season, like minimum. One of those that's just immediately one of the best. But
I think he might be. I think
we're gonna get a little bit less Jeremiah Love than we anticipate.
Yeah.
And for fantasy purposes, right, if you want to think about it like this, I think he'd be good for like a dynasty league. Don't know if he would be good for this upcoming season, because I think what the Cardinals are going to want to do is lean on the depth they have in their running back room and not saddle Jeremiah Love with such a heavy load that is for a season that essentially won't matter.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of ironic, because it's exactly what happened with Bijan Robinson when he was splitting carries with Tyler Algier. So it's like they brought in Tyler Algier to do that exact same thing.
This guy knows how to comes in and plays pitcher relief.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Jeremiah Love will be a bit of a split. I thought you were going to pick Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, that would have been a good one. I forgot.
I thought that's where you were going with yours.
That's an excellent. I am rooting for him.
I am too.
Good things coming out of OTAs and stuff. I haven't heard anything about him.
It's just, I don't think anybody knows what it's. I don't know if anybody's like using OTAs. Plus, again, like he's got Jacoby Brissett, so I think that's better than Jacoby Brissett can probably be like a top 23 quarterback on most weeks. So it's tough though, because I think you would like a bit of a better quarterback throwing to you when this is kind of a make or break season for you, which it really does feel like it is for him. It feels like
with Jacoby Brissett,
he's going into year 3. I mean, he was seen as like a generational receiver prospect, and again, I think some of it is overblown, because he is he's a solid player. Like if this is all we ever get from him, he's a good starter.
What pick was he?
Well, I mean, again, like, yes, he did not live up to his draft pedigree, but he's still like ultimately a solid starter at minimum, which is that's fine. Like, I think if he's going to ever ascend to anywhere near where we thought he would, we have to see it this year, even if it is Jacoby Brissett throwing to him. So, I also just really quick wanted to hit on. We've been talking about the Cardinals forever, but hey, we're probably not going to get to talk about them that much as we get later into the season. No disrespect to Arizona. So get it all in here. All right. I wanted to highlight Will Johnson. He also had a really strong rookie year. He missed some time with injury, but when he was in, he was really good. So him pairing back there with Budda Baker, who's getting a little older. I like some of the breakout candidates we could see from this secondary, or the defense in general, just because they do have, as you said, so much capital invested.
Like a bunch of young players, man. If they could, this unit, because I think they have the talent. I think we just haven't seen it like mature into anything yet.
All right, this one I'm really excited about. L.A. Rams.
Yeah,
I'll let you go first.
Crazy. Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Tangent. A little crazy how this time last year, I was just ready just to be like, no, the Rams are going to be bad next year. Matthew Stafford's over the hill. He's going to retire after this season. The Rams are done. And then he just goes out, has an MVP year in the NFC Championship game, one of the best games of the season. and is just amazing. And yeah, and now I'm like, Rams could go back to Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah,
really,
like they have the best chance of any team to do it, 100%.
Like I said before, Rams were the Super Bowl favorite coming into this season right now, and then after the Myles Garrett trade with the Browns, I think it's gone up. Like they're like, oh yeah, I think more people.
Like they were plus 800, and now they're plus 500 in most books. I did a whole shameless plug. I did a little short on that on the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube page, breaking down the odds and how they shifted with Myles Garrett and how it compares to previous Super Bowl favorites from previous seasons.
Oh yeah, no, that's really nice.
Yeah, so go check that out, everybody. But anyway,
so yeah, the Rams are good.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the Rams are good, and they've gotten better. And we got Aaron Donald maybe hinting that he could come back.
I don't buy that.
He could. I don't know. Maybe maybe comes back in later in the season. I don't know, but like it could be on the board. I don't know if it is. I'm probably leaning more toward where you're at, Jake. But I mean, Tom Brady. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, looking to see how he repeats on his his MVP season. Excited to see what that looks like. Puka. Glad he's getting the help that he needs this offseason. And hopefully just grows up a little bit, learns how to be more professional. If you're gonna I have no problem with you going on podcast and stuff like that, but just know your words carry weight and stuff like that. So I know it's tough. We complain when an athlete is very calculated and all that stuff, doesn't reveal much. But when they get too real, it's like whoa. But just I guess
it's you're either boring or you're controversial and people have a problem with you. There's not really a way to win.
So, but maybe just mature a little bit. Just watch what you say at times. Obviously Myles Garrett as well, seeing him in Rams uniform, after breaking his, he was already in Hall of Fame, but his
had the best career defining ever. Had the best single season ever for a defensive end.
Career defining for him.
100%. He broke the single sack record. Yeah, that's gonna be. Okay. That's.
I mean, I thought he was in this. If he didn't get it, I thought he was already in. He was
already a Hall of Famer, but I mean, yeah, that's the crown jewel that I think everybody of his position seeks out wanting. That's one of them. I think now his goal is to break the all-time sack record.
Oh shit!
Which he can do. I mean, he's got to keep a 14 something. I think it's a 14 sack pace over the next 5 years, and I think he does it.
That's a lot of sacks, but yeah, I think
it is a lot of sacks.
But but as I said, yeah, Myles Garrett, very good player. Now we get to see him on a real contender.
So good.
So love to see that. The Rams, they were like, okay, our secondary's back. All right, Trent McDuffie, get over here.
Let's go get our star pass rusher named Von Miller. This time, Myles Garrett.
Oh yeah, and
they did the same thing. They went and traded for Jalen
Prime.
He was. I mean, well, he
was
kind of
still rotational player.
Von Miller was a key difference. No, for the Rams.
I mean, but now this year's Von Miller.
No, I'm talking about when I was comparing Myles Garrett to Von Miller when they traded for Von Miller.
My bad. I'm sorry.
You're good. No, I was. Yeah,
Von Miller today.
I was comparing when they traded for Von Miller. It's like they went and got Von Miller. Oh, now they're getting Myles Garrett. They went and got Jalen Ramsey. Oh, now they're getting Trent McDuffie. It's like the same recipe. Yeah. That's the point I was trying to make. Yeah.
All right, my bad.
No, you're good. I'll let you. Do you want to pick up where you were going?
Myles Garrett's that man. He's that dude.
I did want to say, yeah, I mean, Myles Garrett is obviously amazing. I'm a little concerned about their edge depth. They have Josiah Stewart, but outside of that, it's a little bit thin outside of him and my breakout candidate, who is Byron Young. And I love that you talked about Myles Garrett because I think this plays perfectly into Byron Young. Because Byron Young last year, he had a 14% pressure rate on almost 400 pass rush snaps. That's really solid. He had 12 sacks last year. And that was and part of the reason for it is because he was playing across from Jared Verse, Jared Verse really can wreck the game. Yeah. Now he's playing across from Myles Garrett, Like, like he's going into year 3, so he's starting to kind of hit maybe his physical prime a little bit. Like, you're talking about a guy like, does that 12 sacks become 15 sacks? Does that pressure rate become 15 or 16%?
Then the Rams at that point are unstoppable.
I mean, legitimately. So like,
if they're getting production, like even if he doesn't even break the sack, like 14 sacks, like you said, and now they're getting 15 on the other side. What do you do as an offense?
Well, and I mean,
what can you do?
And it's not only that, but like that's also paired inside with Poona Ford, with Braden Frisk, with Kobe Turner. Like, I mean, that it is just such a, like, again, a little thin in the edge room, but like overall, this unit is just pound for pound. It is a terrifying defensive line. Like, yeah, there's still some mercenaries out there. You know, I think Derek Barnett is still out there. I think Jadeveon Clowney is still out there. So there's still some, you know, options that you can bring in last minute if you need. But yeah, that's my pick for the Rams. I guess we can move on to. Did you have anything else on the Rams?
No, I think it's just crazy how this last year I was like, no, this team's good, just bad, and they got to reset. And now I'm just like, no, this team should win the Super Bowl.
Ah, man, I remember a couple years ago, I was going to have them with a losing record. It was after their 22 season when it was terrible and everything was bad, and everybody had them in a rebuild, and I had them at like 7-10, and then I just thought about it. I was like, I don't know why, but this team is going to win 10 games this year. Like, their depth is bad, but they're going to find a way to do it. Sean McVay's not going to have 2 straight losing seasons. Lo and behold, they were in the playoffs, so that was the start of it. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I feel like we're going to get to talk about the Rams a lot. We're also going to be talking about this team a lot, the Seahawks. I'm curious to know what direction you went with this.
I think this is probably one of my most most niche pick of them all since we're doing this. I want to let AJ Barner.
I kind of dig that. I dig that a lot.
AJ Barner.
I have high hopes for AJ Barner.
I don't know why I didn't have his stats up. Sorry about this. Okay, so yeah, rookie season, he had 30 catches, 245 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, okay, solid. About 8.2 yards average. And then this last season, 52 catches, 519 yards, average about 10 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns. Like, production is going up. I think did he make a play in the Super Bowl? Can't remember.
No, he made a play in the NFC Championship.
Okay. So, like, I like him a little bit. I think he'll be featured a lot more. I mean, they still have Jackson Smith and Jigba, but like I don't know. I like a second-year tight end, like not a very like talked about dude. Just been slightly getting better each year. Even if it like I'm going from 245 to 519. I think that's a pretty good jump and 2 more touchdowns. So yeah, I mean I'm excited about him to see see if he continues to, become like maybe not a top 10, maybe just outside of top 10. Maybe he one day eventually reach that. Like it could be this season, but yeah, AJ Barner. Maybe a sleeper.
I like that. That's
maybe a sleeper fantasy pick too.
I went with Byron Murphy. I don't even know if it's like fair to say this because he was so good last year. He was tied for 7th in stops last year. He got 7 sacks from the defensive tackle spot, which is really solid. That was around top 5 for defensive tackles, kind of depending on who you count. Yeah, I was really impressed with what I saw from Byron Murphy last year, and would not surprise me if he continues to just ascend into that upper tier. We talked about Jeffrey Simmons a lot on the last podcast, so yeah, I went with Byron Murphy. Did you have anybody else?
Seattle? No, I mean, our guy,
Nicky Manwari.
Yeah, Nicky Manwari. That guy, is
awesome.
Dexter Lawrence still on? I like Dexter Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Crazy how he spent his entire time with the Cowboys. Didn't sniff Super Bowl. And first year he's off the Cowboys, he goes to Seattle. In the Super Bowl.
Well, it's sad because he was saying when he signed with the Seahawks, he was like, look, I love Dallas. Dallas is my home, but like I knew I was never going to win a Super Bowl there. And Micah comes out and is like, that's trash. How dare you say that? And like beefing with him. And it's hilarious because Micah didn't even end up playing for the Cowboys again. He got traded later that same offseason. And yeah, as you said, DeMarcus Lawrence goes and wins the Super Bowl year 1. All the Cowboys fans are like, "Ha, you think you're going to win it with Sam Darnold?" It's like,
yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did. So,
this a little bit not about breakout, but this, I feel like the Seahawks are being disrespected a little bit.
I mean, it's tough because the Rams have been so flashy. And
the Rams,
and I understand. Like, I think it's fair. The Rams should probably be
considered man.
But I mean, I get it. They're like, we have the best coach, right? It's like, well,
best coach.
Now, pretty great.
Clint Kubiak leaving is tough. I'll give you that, but
I'm a little worried about some of their losses.
Defensive players have gone, but I still believe in this team to be really, really solid. Like I get it. The Rams are the new flashy hot toy, but I don't sleep on the Seahawks. Know what I'm saying?
I'm never sleeping on the Seahawks. You know how I was about the Seahawks last year, starting like end of September. I'm like, this team really good. Really good. Like, not enough people know how good this team is, and lo and behold, I'm still defending them at the end of the regular season, and it's like people are like, they're not real, and it's like they're blowing out everybody. So I understand. I want to throw some respect towards the Seahawks, but I also understand why the Rams are getting more attention. All right, let's talk about the 49ers. I wanted to go first here. I'm making a bold prediction that Brandon Ayuk will mend fences and come. That's
Brandon Ayuk. That's the hot. Okay, I was like, that's the hottest take of all time.
Real talk. I wonder if there's like Vegas odds on that. Just put like $1 or $2 on that and make like 50,000 on Brandon Ayuk coming back to the 49ers. I went with Ricky Pearsall. Not necessarily as a breakout player. I think he could be if he can stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. Like, that's the problem.
You're a crazy guy.
I mean, if he stays healthy, he is really good. He's not, but he can't. I understand. Like, I was listening to a 49ers beat writer the other day, and he was talking about Ricky Pearsall, and he's like, look, Ricky Pearsall is really good, and like, you watch him and he's hurt, and it's like, okay, but he comes back and he starts gaining momentum, and you're like, he's figuring it out, and then he gets hurt again. He just gets hit, and you just don't know if he's gonna, get injured from it. And it's the reality of it. I understand, but if he can stay healthy, big if, he is a really, really good playmaker. Now, I put him on my list just because I feel like we're kind of getting to the point where it is make or break for him. They drafted Deshaun. Talking about where Ricky Pearsall came from, right? They used a first-round pick on him. Kyle Shanahan does not like to use first-round picks on receivers. He likes his receivers to be old veterans. And drafting a young receiver that he has to teach, he just hasn't liked to do that since he's been a head coach. Not really. So they used a first-round pick on Ricky Pearsall, so that tells you what they thought about him. But now they have since used their first pick this year, early second-round pick, but still their first one, on Deshaun Stribling, who does a lot of the same stuff that Ricky Pearsall does. So we're getting to the point with Ricky Pearsall where it's like, dude, you got to do something. Like, you have to, because they are already looking for an exit ramp off of you. So I think being across from Mike Evans, if he can also stay healthy, again, it's a very fragile receiver room.
I'm laughing because we had an argument before we came on about the 49ers receiver room. And Jake disagreed on the take that I had, which was this is one of the worst receiving rooms for a contender.
I mean, for a contender, it is. It's a very weak receiver room for the group of contenders. I do agree with that. But a lot of ifs, but it's June. We can wish cast. We're allowed to do that in June. If Ricky Pearsall stays healthy, solid. I also went really quick. Upton Stout. Upton Stout is my real one. Mm-hmm. Dude is a stud. Dude is just a beast. Sticky in coverage. A really, really strong tackler. There were some really, kind of esoteric stats I saw, which they were kind of interesting. It was talking about how, for where he was taken in the draft and for his size, he is one of the most productive tacklers in the last, 20 years or something. So, I expect him to continue to ascend. He's got some, he needs to work on his ball skills a little bit. But, again, he's a sticky guy in coverage, so he's going to still have those opportunities. So I'm very excited about Upton Stout. And then Jair Brown, interesting in the safety spot. He's got a lot of traits, a lot of physical tools, but can he be consistent? Who knows? So watching out for him too. Who you got for the 49ers?
Easy one here for me, but I mean, this just goes with like the whole team really and all the defenses. But Fred Warner, and all those guys that
all the injuries,
all the injuries. But Fred Warner, he's best linebacker in the league. I mean, credit to Robert Saleh and what he got done with the 49ers and just Kyle Shanahan and what he got done with the offense too. Just banger coaching jobs by the 49ers with all the injuries that they dealt with last year. And I know they got smacked in the playoffs, but like just to be able to, get there and was had the chance to win the number 1 seed, but mind you, by the way, during that season, had the chance at number 1 seed. But yeah, just hopefully if the 49ers can stay healthy, I think this team can be a really solid team.
All right, let's move on to the NFC East. Christian, we got to start with my Cowboys. I had a lot of choices here. There's really a lot of
there is. And I feel like you can put Dak on this list too. Like I think he had a good year.
Well, he's a bit past breakout in my opinion, but like I have
maybe
guys.
Maybe he's the MVP.
Hey, that's fair, right? I make the bold claim Dak's going to be the MVP. Like that's a pretty good step up, but I would say I went with I splurged a little bit. I went with more people than I probably should have, but I went with 2 on the offense and 2 on the defense. Real quick, honorable mention to those 4 total people. Again, long list. I did just want to shout out Caleb Downs. Didn't want to have him on the list. Oh, okay. I'll let you talk about Caleb Downs then. Go ahead.
Oh, I think he's gonna be really good. I think he's gonna be really good. That Kyle Hamilton type guy. You can put him. You can put him out far and let him roam in the secondary. You can put him down in the box for run support, or those shallow crosses, tight end, whatever. I think he's gonna be a really versatile player. And as we talked about before, we got on the pod, your new D coordinator, Christian Parker, looking at his his resume, and he helped the Philadelphia Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. He was on coaching defensive backs, so I'm really excited what he can do with a very do it all kind of guy in Caleb Williams. So yeah, very excited. They got a lot of defensive talent, younger talent too as well on that defense. So maybe might take a little bit to get the cohesion down, but I do think maybe by the end of the year we can see like, okay, this is a very young, good, solid up and coming defense for the Cowboys. And if their offense can continue to produce like the way it did last year, that's a step up, and we will see the Cowboys in the playoffs.
I hope so. I am a little nervous about some elements of it. Really quick on the Caleb Downs thing, struggling a little bit in OTAs early, but it's all par for the course. It's not. We're not even. I hate when we start talking about people struggling in training camp, let alone when we're doing it in OTAs.
What was his name? Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Jamar
Chase
catch. Was
that
dropping
guy
balls
catch.
in the
Jamar Chase now?
preseason. And we were like, oh, Bengals buzzed. And then I want to say like week 1, homie was
the 4th best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm like, come on now. Like, so yeah, it's OTAs. It's like the game is a lot faster. I think young players don't realize that. Like the game's faster. Everybody's smarter. Everybody's a pro.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a learning curve. So, but I will say this semi-bold prediction about Caleb Downs. I think he has the highest chance of any rookie to win All-Pro this year. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying if we were if we were ranking the rookies based on their likelihood of winning All Pro, I think he would be number one.
I think he's one of the few. If I have to make a list, he's up there.
Well, and I mean, he plays with the Cowboys, so he's going to get eyeballs.
He's going to be talked about.
That's going to be a factor. But okay, so starting on the defensive side, I went with Maurice Luafu. Did I say that right? Liufau.
It's your team, big.
I always get his name wrong, but Maurice Liufau, and DeMarvion Overshown. I think our linebacking core has a chance to be pretty sick.
He's just an injury issue, right?
Overshown, can he stay healthy? And I think Maurice, like what I'm hearing, because again, Christian Parker's coming in with this like attacking 3-4 Vic Fangio style defense, multiple looks.
Oh yeah, he's also worked under Vic Fangio. I forgot to mention that.
I think you're going to see Maurice get put in a lot of advantageous situations, a lot of dynamic situations, and I think we might get to the end of the year and think about Maurice as in a lot different light than we do now, where right now he's just kind of a rotational guy. And then on the offensive side, I wanted to talk about, this is kind of like a 1.5, Tyler Booker. He kind of got overshadowed because, again, the Cowboys weren't very good last year, and everybody was enamored with what Gray Zabel was doing in Seattle. But Tyler Booker's really good. He's really good. He is just a mean run mauler guy. And paired with Tyler Smith, who everybody loves Tyler Smith, he's one of the best guards in the league. I think that is going to be a deadly guard duo. And I think that is in turn going to help Cooper Beebe, the center, he's a good center, but like I think because he's surrounded by two, like I think will be like all pro level guards, I think that is going to even level him up in that way, if that makes sense. So I think we're going to get to the end of the year and we're going to think of the Cowboys' interior offensive line as one of, if not the best interior lines in the entire league. So very excited about those players for my Cowboys. Anyone else you got on that team?
I went out wide and took your guy that is on the franchise tag this year, and George Pickens.
Good one.
Another kind of prove it. Oh, not kind of. It is a prove it year for him. Prove it year for him. Can he continue that production that he had? I don't even think it's an argument. I think he was better than CD.
Last year. CD was up and down. He was dealing with injuries. It was a tough year for CD.
But can he continue? Can he continue that? He was a first round pick, and I think he has the talent.
No, George Pickens was a second round pick.
Never mind. But I feel like the Steelers do know how to pick him. As I learned, they took Emmanuel Sanders and A.J. Brown in the 2010 draft in the third round and a sixth round. Crazy. Anyway, but yeah, can he continue that? Hopefully working toward a deal like that. I do kind of like him in Dallas, but can he stay out of the boneheaded stuff? Can you be engaged and locked in? With that last game of the season, it just was just out there, just doing whatever. So can he continue, like, even if it is a meaningless game or something like that? But I think things are going to go well for you guys. So I think he will be playing for meaningful games, and he should be locked in.
Yeah, let's go.
I think else.
I hope so. I'm a little worried about our depth on the defensive side of the ball, but
that's fair,
I think offensively we are just. I mean, we're the thing about we're always a top 5 offense. We have been a top 5 offense, I think, every single year except one year dating back to like 2021 or something.
So, yeah, I think I'm just really hoping if that defense improves, then I think
we're in. It's very much Bengals-esque. The same thing exactly we talked about with the Bengals, which I know it's a pretty common comparison, but yeah, we need like the 20th best defense, and we can be in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
So rooting on George Pickens, and hopefully he continues to grow up if he ever does.
All right. I did want to knock out the Eagles really quick. I only have one for this, so I wanted to
I
see.
only have one too.
What's yours?
Jalen Hurts. Okay. I feel like that's like an gotcha. I'm rooting for him. This is more motivation than I think he'll bring out. A lot of stuff's come out about you, my man, this offseason. Your leadership's kind of getting questioned. The AJ Brown saga, which is now gone, but still remnants of that. Your new OC is, wants to, update the offense to this modern scheme. So hey, bro, the guy you replaced, they have no problem with, cutting bait with coaches, quarterbacks. They don't care. If you're not producing and not meeting their standard, Harry Roseman has shown that he will take that hit and he will trade your ass. So, I mean, but it's also kind of a bit unfair to Jalen Hurts. All the different offensive coordinators for him. He's now starting another new season with the offensive coordinator. He's coming in with a lot of pressure on his shoulders now to at least make the Eagles contenders. So I'm rooting for him. This is more of a motivational pick for me, to be honest with you.
You actually inspired me to add one more to my list. I'll start with my main one. I went with Jahad Campbell. I had to, if you listen to this podcast last year, Jahad Campbell was one of my guys, just this freak of nature, 6'3" linebacker that can go sideline to sideline, has a lot of power. I mean, I really thought last year, I picked him not only to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I said there was a chance that he could flirt with an All-Pro. And he didn't quite do that. He ended up sitting on the sidelines a lot more than I expected because Nakobe Dean was just playing really well. We only got to see him when Nakobe Dean got hurt. But now Nakobe Dean is gone. He has gone to Las Vegas. And we're going to get to see Jahad Campbell look like one of the 10 best linebackers in the league, which I think he will elevate himself to be. So I'm very excited about Jahad Campbell. My honorable mention that you inspired me to add, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get hurt in a season, he gets 1,000 yards. I mean, he is a 1,000-yard receiver with A.J. Brown. I think
he can be a number one.
We talked about Ladd McConkey last, and how much he could ascend this upcoming season. Devontae Smith, what if he has a Jackson Smith and Jigba season? I think that's very much on the board. He's got the physical pedigree. He's a Heisman Trophy winner as a receiver.
Yeah.
I really think this offense, again, it's a very similar, it's from the same family of offense that Jackson Smith and Jigba was in last year, where Sean Mannion is going to bring in that LaFleur offense, which is an offshoot of that outside zone, wide zone scheme that the Shanahan-Kubiak family runs, right? So it's like a cousin of that scheme. So I think it will produce opportunities for him to have those looks. So Devontae Smith, I'm very excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, and then also their rookie receiver, Mekhi Lemon too.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Now they got Devontae Smith pairing him up. I would love to see. Hopefully they hit on this one, Jalen Reagor.
Yeah. Oof. Hey, they hit on Devontae Smith.
Pick right after.
They hit on Devontae Smith. I don't even remember that.
I think it was the Justin Jefferson pick right out, or was it before? No, I think they did Reagor, and then he either went next or a couple.
I've got it right here. Just so, we have a good time. Why not? So let's see. Jalen Reagor went 21. Justin Jefferson went 22.
Damn.
CeeDee Lamb went 17. Jerry Jeudy went 15.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy.
Henry Ruggs went 12. Ooh, that's a tough one. He was the first. Henry Ruggs was the first receiver taken.
That speed.
Yeah.
He was he broke that record. Was it Christian? Did he break the Christian? No, that was
he was very fast though.
Something Ross. John Ross, I think.
Yeah, John Ross for the Bengals. Yeah.
John Ross and
good pull.
John.
All right, let's talk about the Giants next. I had one. It's low hanging fruit. I added a couple more to supplement it, but I went Abdul Carter. He's got 72 pressures last year. That was 7th in the league. Now, the problem was he only had 4 sacks. So he had a very hard time, a little Jared Verse-esque, where he has a hard time converting that disruption into actual, like a tangible thing like a sack, right? So I think going into year 2, he is going to elevate his game. He's going to clean that up. Would not surprise me in the slightest if Abdul Carter is one of those bona fide top 5 kind of guys that we think about in the NFL. He was drafted to be that. He was drafted to be a Will Anderson type player. He was drafted to be it's hard to say, but like even like a Nick Bosa, Max Crosby, that kind of guy. So Aiden Hutchinson, I think he will become that. Who you got?
Yeah, along that, I mean, I think the main players of the Giants, John Harbaugh coming in from the Ravens, hopefully can he rebuild the Giants to being a contender, like they were back in the early 2000s and stuff like that, and then Jackson Dart, and with Abdul Carter on the defense to round out the mainstay of the team. But yeah, Jackson Dart, going in his second year, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for these teams with a second year quarterback that's going to pop.
Yep.
I think
100%.
that's been a trend we've been seeing the last few seasons. That was his rookie season. Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, but Caleb's year 2 season.
Caleb Williams.
Russell Wilson's year 2 season, they went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, year 3.
Okay.
It was his year 2 as a starter. But yeah, I mean, he
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it had Patrick Mahomes, his 50 touchdown season was year 2 of his career. Lamar Jackson in year 2.
So yeah, we've been seeing that, and I think the Giants are one of those teams that are candidates for that. And I think we saw flashes from Jackson Dart here and there. It's just mainly about the boneheaded stuff with the not sliding and protecting yourself and taking on hits and getting the concussions, and in the interviews being like, well, that's how I play, and it's like, nah, dude, yeah, you can play like that, and Pop Warner, middle school, high school, even in college, I guess, but now you're in the pros. And look, man, your best availability is, what is it? What's the saying?
Availability is the best ability.
So if you cannot be out there, I get, being a warrior, and it is fun seeing quarterback, lowering their head one time, a couple times in the season, fighting for a yard. That's fun to see. But at the end of the day, you do got it. You are the most valuable piece on the field. That's why the MVP is a QB award. Let's be honest. You are the most valuable person. If you cannot be out there for your boys, then yeah, all this bravado is not going to do you anything, especially later in your career. If you're going to be having all this, not making fun of it, but all these issues with concussions and all that stuff. So yes, protect yourself. John Harbaugh, coach this team up, and Abdul Carter, do your thing.
Yeah, I had a couple others. I do want to say on Jackson Dart, I think something I heard that was interesting was talking about quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, right? Lamar has always had running as an element to his game, through high school, through college. Mm-hmm. And I think there's actually a benefit to that Jackson Dart did not have. And that is that Lamar has learned, by the time he gets to the NFL, he knows how to slide. He knows how to avoid contact. He's been doing it his entire football career. Jackson Dart was not a take off and run it kind of guy in college.
A little bit athletic, but yeah.
But he's not, that was not his game. He got to the NFL and he just started running, and it's oh dang, this guy can run really well. But he hasn't learned how to slide. He hasn't had enough reps. So it's really tough to have to learn that at the NFL level. I mean, that's borderline dangerous. So yeah. I mean, yeah, he's got, as you said, he's got to cut down and take care of himself. I mean,
his coaches, you need to be hounding that into his head. Hey, bro, we think you are the guy that can get us to the promised land. We need you to play smarter.
Yeah.
This is the league.
Yeah.
It hurts. This is people, you can get really, really hurt out here, brother. You can't be playing out here.
I did also want to really
this could be messing up your money in the future, bro.
It's true. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah,
are we at 60 right now?
Yeah,
for quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's the high end.
We could be getting up to. We could be close. We can be nearly $70 million
when he gets paid. Yeah, I mean it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I agree. Bro, you could be looking at $70 million if you're the guy that if you're the guy that the Giants think you are. you could be staring at like $70 million.
I think for the Giants to pay him that, he would have to demonstrate like he is one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
66, like 65. Like,
yeah, that's probably more of the norm at that point. Like I mean, north of 60 by the time he gets paid at least. So, I did want to shout out though his offensive line. I think their offensive line is going to be pretty good this year. It could actually be like a real strength. Well, if Andrew Thomas needs to stay healthy. He has not played a full season since his rookie season, so that needs to get better. But John Michael Schmidt is a really good center. They drafted Francis Mauigoa, who I really love. I thought he was.
Yeah, I've liked what the Giants did. They've invested.
John Runyon, I'm kind of take him or leave him. I don't love him that much, but Jermaine Illuminor, solid, just good league starting tackle. I think that offensive line could really help out and make life a lot easier.
How did I miss this guy? Offense.
Don't say him.
Their guy.
No, don't say him. It's not going to be a good year for him.
No,
Malik
Neighbors. You're saying
it's going to be a tough year for Malik Neighbors.
Is he not going to be healthy by the?
He's been having a lot of setbacks with his rehab.
No.
And even if he comes back, like, which I mean, he'll come back at some point. Like, but even if he misses games. Or doesn't miss games and comes back, like, I still think we're a long ways away from it being 100%. So I think Malik Neighbors 2027 is where that stock should be at. But yeah, I'm rooting for him. I mean, I hope you're right. Like, you know, if you want to mention him in this pod. All right. We got one more team in the East. Let's talk about the Commanders.
This was a hard one for me. I just want to, like I said with the Jets, I just want to see improvement. I just want to see like this team get better. I do believe in Dan Quinn. He has gotten a Super Bowl, so yeah, I'll believe in Dan Quinn. Jaden Daniels, you know, dealing with injury last year. I didn't really think we went into last year thinking like they weren't really going to be that good, and you know, unfortunately, they weren't. Injuries and all that stuff. Defense wasn't that great. But can Jaden Daniels stay healthy? And I think if he can stay healthy, they have a shot.
Of course.
Still a lot of question marks, I think, throughout this roster. But I think there's probably some good dudes that I like on this team. I just can't think of them right now. Terry McLaurin, but he's getting older.
He's a good bounce back candidate. He had a tough year last year. He's a good candidate for this.
But yeah.
I went for mine really quick. Look, again, not trying to shout out rookies that much, but I did want to give an honorable mention to Sonny Styles, who was my favorite player coming into this draft. I loved Sonny Styles. You know, again, that Jahad Campbell, we're going to talk about him in a little bit later, but Edge Cooper, just those huge linebackers that are just 4.3 speed, just freaks of nature. That's the guy I love being in the middle of my defense. I think he is just going to fit in perfectly into that Dan Quinn scheme, and I think Sonny Styles could be another one of those like super young, high end linebacker, like top 10 candidates at the end of the season. But we're not here to talk about Sonny Styles. Honorable mention. I wanted to talk about Bill Krosky-Merritt.
Ooh.
I think he had a lot of fans, myself included, coming into the season last year, his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was touch and go, so I think this is the year that he's really going to get a chance to like realize his potential. He's going to be behind a really solid offensive line, which I'm also shouting out Josh Connerly, who is their rookie tackle from last year, and he got better over the season as it went on. So I really do like the idea of having Laramie Tunsil, Josh Connerly right there. Sam Cosmi is still there. I still don't know why they cut Tyler Biotish. That was strange to me. But, yeah, I mean, I really like a lot of, like, not just the running back room that they have. I think it's a little deeper than people realize. But this line, the way this offensive line, I think, is going to help that running back room reach its potential. I'm excited to see it. Also wanted to shout out Nick Cross, coming from the Colts. Just a big, traitsy, again, love the athletic profile of some of these guys. Nick Cross had like one of the fastest combine times for a safety. And he is just really good towards the line of scrimmage, plays, has a good kind of nose for the ball. I'm optimistic that he's also really young. He's only like 24. Yeah. He's very young.
He's been in the league 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I really think like this guy still has his best years ahead of him. I think the Commanders
his prime has not reached his prime yet.
I think the Commanders might have a franchise safety on their hands with Nick Cross. Like I am big on him. So yeah, good stuff. All right, let's move next to what might be the most competitive division in the entire league, the NFC North. Really, I've again no idea how this division is going to stack up. I have made the joke a few times on the pod. In 2024, the division finished Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears, and last year it finished Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. It flipped. It literally flipped. So it's just you just have no idea what you're getting with this division. It's super exciting. Start with the Packers. I'll just really quick just to round out the linebacker theme that I have been having with the NFC. I went Edge Cooper. He's just I watch him. I love him. Like I know he's got some consistency issues, but he just does everything so well. Like I mean, he makes plays in every single phase of the game. He's a great pass rusher. He's good at he's spotty at run defense. Like I kind of get that. I see him maybe miss more than I would like, but he's effective in pass coverage too. I mean, I just really like so much of his game, and I still expect great things from him. I expect him to get a little more consistent. He's going into year 3. Yeah, I'm excited for him. And then shout out Marshawn Lloyd. He might get a lot of playtime since, who knows what's going on with Josh Jacobs. And he has been getting a lot of shout outs at practice from like Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. So Marshawn Lloyd, name to keep an eye on in that running back room.
Okay, nice. I went with going with Matthew Golden. Like they just need that guy, that dude in that room, in that receiving room right now. And they spent a first round pick. Was it a first round pick?
Oh, Matthew Golden, yeah, okay. It was.
Spent a first round pick on him last year. So I think he had an okay rookie season, but I think he was in and out of the lineup with injuries. But they need him to step up and be that guy for them for Jordan Love, especially with signing Christian Watkins. Did they let Romeo Doubs go? I think they did.
Yeah, Romeo Doubs is in New England.
In New England, I like Romeo Doubs. He's okay. Is he the one with the cap?
He is. He's Captain. He's Lord Helmet. Lord Helmet is what they call him.
I love how that's how I remember him. Hey, I can't. It's for safety.
So no, dude, I would do the same thing. I don't care.
I don't care if I look silly. But yeah, Matthew Golden for me.
Yeah, I think Matthew Golden's an interesting one. Look, I mean, fact of the matter is, the Packers never pick wide receivers in the first round. The last wide receiver they picked in the first round before Matthew Golden was Javon Walker, who did not in 2002, who did not get a second contract.
When did they get Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams was not a first round pick. He was a second round pick.
Okay, so yeah, he still it took him a little bit to.
Yeah, I mean, but he was so Matthew Golden didn't work out. Javon Walker didn't work out. It took them 20 years before they tried it again. So. And before Javon Walker, it was Sterling Sharp in 1988, which Sterling Sharp was amazing, but he also didn't have a very long career. He's in the Hall of Fame. He is a Hall of Famer. But so Matthew Golden doesn't work out. Packers are not taking another receiver for another
in 30s.
I mean, that's just what this pattern points to. So Matthew Golden is there's more at stake for Matthew Golden's season than just Matthew Golden's career. Like
it'd be funny if they're just like they get a generational wide receiver at their they have like a generational receiver dropped in there. They're just scared in the first round. Like,
can
we take him? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, again, but like they found Devontae Adams was one of the 5 best receivers in the league during his prime. Got him in the second round. Yeah. Jordy Nelson, James Jones, like Randall Cobb, like even Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. The list just goes on and on and on.
Good receivers,
and none of them are first rounders. Like none of those guys were in the first round. So, I understand the value that they feel, but Matthew Golden still got to come through. I feel you. All right, let's talk about the Lions next. I'll be quick with mine. I had a hard time picking for the Lions, to be totally honest with you.
Mine, I felt was just too easy.
I went Cade Mays, their center, coming over from Carolina. Cade May is just a dude. I mean, he is just a bulldog. He is just an asshole in the middle of that line. And, I think this is going to be the best center play they have had since Frank Ragnow. Last year they were getting it with Tate Ratledge, Tate Ratledge is a guard, and he was a rookie guard
like
at
they
that.
were just
they were bailing water. So
yeah,
they're moving Penei Sewell to the left tackle. They drafted Blake Miller. He'll start at the right tackle. Tate Ratledge gets to now move back to his guard spot.
Oh, okay, nice.
And they're getting Cade Mays in the middle. Yeah, Blake Miller. Yeah, their first round pick was a rookie tackle.
Damn.
Yeah. So I really I think Cade Mays is like the centerpiece that brings this all together. I think it gets it closer to the attitude, quote unquote, that like Dan Campbell clearly wants to have, like that bite kneecaps attitude. That's Cade Mays. So
get that back.
I'm really excited about that. And then my last one, just honorable mention. If you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, you know how much we love Isaiah Pacheco here. Isaiah Pacheco's days, I understand. I'm prepared that they might be behind him. But I am hoping
he's not in a good situation.
After a couple of years of injuries, I'm hoping getting to be the sidekick to Jahmyr Gibbs. I hope we have a renaissance, a revival of Isaiah Pacheco. So those are my guys for the Lions.
Well, Jake, I'm staying in that running back room, and I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs, the guy that will be now probably not expected to be the bell cow, but he's going to be featured a lot more than what he was.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
With David Montgomery not being there anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm rooting for Isaiah Pacheco, too. I think I like him not having to, carry the load now, and he has that, stud Jahmyr Gibbs. So, I mean, I think he is – I don't know if he'll do it this season, but I think there could be a possibility Jahmyr Gibbs could be in contention for an MVP award, maybe could be in the top 5. I think he could. I think he has the talent to. People are – I'm not knock on wood that he if he does, but people have been comparing him to Barry. I've seen some stuff.
Dude, honestly, stuff. He's not. It's an apt comparison. It's an apt comparison.
Use that. You're getting Barry's a Hall of.
Barry's my favorite player in the history of the sport. He's the best running back. Yeah, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is the best running back of all time. It's either him, Jim Brown, or Walter Payton. But I think it's Barry. But I mean, the reason he's getting compared is because you look at the touchdowns that he has. He is on pace with the all-time touchdown leaders, including Barry Sanders, for the amount of touchdowns he's had before turning 25 years old.
So I'm not saying it's gonna be this year, but I mean, there could be a season or two, or I don't know, but where he could be an MVP contention and be a finalist for MVP. I think that can be on his resume. I don't know if he'd win it, but it'd have to take
be tough, yeah.
It'd
be. He can get some votes though.
Saquon broke a record, and yeah.
I'll say this,
but he could get offensive player. He couldn't get offensive player of the year. I think he is a big candidate. He might be I don't know the odds of it, but he's probably on it, I would say.
I would say this about Jahmyr Gibbs. Two things. One, he has never had a season with more than 250 carries.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be
I think you're right. But if he gets it to 300, I mean, he had 1,400 rushing yards in 2024 on 250 carries. He had 1,200 yards on 243 carries last year. He averages 5.3 yards a carry for his career. So, it's not inconceivable at all that I give this guy the ball 50 to 70 more times, he could have some insane numbers as far as yards per scrimmage and just total rushing yards. And again, he's a touchdown machine, 10 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns. I mean, and that's just rushing. He's had 10 additional receiving touchdowns. Yeah. So he's just a freak. And
hopefully they manage his usage well.
Yeah, it's him. They're in an arms race right now because Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs are both just waiting to see who gets paid first. So whoever gets paid second gets to set the market.
Yeah.
One other thing I did want to say, I sent this to you back in May. It is a wild stat I heard about Jahmyr Gibbs. On carries last year where he was not hit in the backfield, he averaged 8.5 yards a carry.
Golly.
So if you didn't hit him in the backfield, you were giving up 8.5 yards.
I mean, that's what offensive want. That's what they want.
I mean, just crazy. So I'm there with you on Jameer. It's going to be a big year for him. Okay, let's talk about the Vikings. Who you got there?
Very interesting team.
They are an interesting team. I agree
Very
with
interesting
that.
team. I went with the QB. I mean, this is the biggest controversy, I guess. I don't know.
A little bit.
But like, this is what we're all kind of waiting for, is like, who's going to get the start for the Vikings. And I think it's Kyler Murray. Very interesting interviews from both quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy and him. With JJ McCarthy having that weird interview about it's like we're in high school, we're sitting across from each other. And then Kyler Murray had an interview where he was like, or like
had the right interview, said the best thing you could say, where he's like,
oh, but I was talking about this other one where he's like, it's kind of, because I think he's been kind of struggling OTAs, and he's like, well, I'm not being able to get that rhythm because I'm in and out, I'm not getting all the reps. And it's like, yeah, brother, you don't deserve all the reps. Like, we still got JJ McCarthy, who, I mean, we're still invested in JJ McCarthy. If he's still on the roster, we still got to see.
I guess that's fair. Fair.
We still got to see what we just don't want to give up on him. So like, we still have JJ McCarthy there, and like, are you good enough to run this? Kevin O'Connell's system. And the expectation is, when you get into Kevin O'Connell's system, the QBs just magically get better, except for JJ last year. But I digress. But like, I mean, people are expecting Kyler Murray to kind of have that career bounce back with the Vikings. And I mean, I think the Vikings are ready, or can be a Super Bowl contender. I think. I know they're playoff contenders right now, but they can get that quarterback. Then I think they have the infrastructure to maybe make a push at it. But yeah, Kyler's mine, I guess, and JJ, I guess. But I think mainly Kyler. But and then dude that's been getting disrespected. But as I said, I at least, I think you do too, but I respect the hell out of Justin Jefferson.
I love Justin Jefferson. I still think he's a bona fide.
Goddamn respect on his goddamn name.
I still think at worst he's a top 2 receiver.
Number 1, but like, I get if you want to put Jamal.
I mean, Jamar Chase is dope. I would put Jackson Smith and Jigba in that list.
Like, I can't argue with that.
And Puka Nacua, I would put in that team there, as well. So, those are kind of the 4.
Please respect my man name, but yeah, I think he'll have a great bounce back season, especially if Kyler gets that start. And now there's a question mark for Kyler: can he last the whole season?
Yeah, I mean, he needs to not only last a whole season, but he needs to play well on the back half of the season, because he hasn't done that very well. So, yeah, I mean, I think, we talk a lot with the Cowboys, like, well, if they could just get top 20 defense, they can make the playoffs. If the Vikings can get top 20 quarterback play, they're in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, this roster is good enough. We think of them as a dumpster fire last year. They won 9 games with J.J. McCarthy and the rotation of guys they had behind him. I mean, I think they get a real upgrade with with Kyler. And then I wanted to talk about, from my guys, really quick, Jalen Redmond. Okay, I don't understand. I feel like we're sleeping on Jalen Redmond. They went out and they bolstered the room that he's in. They drafted Caleb Banks. They drafted Dominique Orange, a.k.a. Big Citrus. That's his nickname. That is a stacked interior line room now. And Jalen Redmond's going to have some real competition, but I think Jalen Redmond is going to continue. He's really productive in the pass rush game. I mean, he had 6 sacks last year. He's a great pass rusher, and he cleans the glass in the run game. He does what you need to. So really excited to see Jalen Redmond continue to break out and become a more well-known player. Shouts out to Dallas Turner as well. Dallas Turner got to have a good season. He had a pretty good season last year. He had a 13% pressure rate, 8 sacks. So I think a lot of people didn't know maybe he did as well as it seems. But Jonathan Grenard isn't there anymore. So he's got to be their one on a pretty thin edge room, to be honest. So really need Dallas Turner to step up if you're the Vikings. All right. let's talk about the Bears. All right, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I'm sticking with the offensive side. Second year head coach for Ben Johnson. Everybody loves him. He's the NFL darling. But he's very smart, and he knows the game. He knows offense. So my two players, both offense. Caleb Williams. We have seen improvement from his first year to his second year with getting the calls in, not getting like false starts and all that stuff. The sacks went down. And in the playoffs we saw two like spectacular, like not just things I couldn't even like comprehend plays that he made.
He's one of the only people that can do it. Like literally one of the only three people that can do that in the league.
So the fact that he can do that, and I mean we did see improvement from his first year, second year, but like again, like the completion percent, like I don't think like it's a little bit overrated. But I don't 58.
I don't think it's that overrated. Like it really is like that extreme when you watch him, where it's like, man, this guy just did something I've only seen 3 other people ever do.
Then throw a lame duck and then the like
next play just sails it in a clean pocket, not under pressure, and it's like, dude, what are you? How does that happen?
I want to see improvement with that and just like getting the routine plays down, because brother, we know you can do this spectacular. I've seen it. It's insane. I can't comprehend. I'm just like, oh, he's down there and he just comes out the other side. I just don't know how he does it. But yeah, dude, he just has to get better at running the easy plays Ben Johnson gives you. And brother, you will be so much better. You will be so much better. You will be in MVP conversations. Hopefully that defense improves. Last year, I don't know all the stuff that they got done on the defensive side, but as long as they improve, I mean, in Ben Johnson we trust with the offense, and Rome Odunze also. DJ Moore is gone. I mean, he really wasn't that much featured, but I think Rome Odunze, I liked him coming into his second year. I know it wasn't amazing, but I do think he is on the verge of just breaking through with being their number one guy.
It's a bold take.
I think.
Luther Burden is just. I think a lot of people are hyped about Luther Burden too, so it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't know.
I mean, look, even if he's second dog, I still think he's a really, really good receiver.
He might end up being a number.
I think he'd be a number. He'd be a number one, and I think in a lot of QB
true.
A lot of wide receiver rooms. I think so. I think he has the talent to be a number one. But if he's second dog, hey, ain't no problem with that. I still think he's a really good guy. So yeah, that's me on offense.
So real quick, just to hit on your defense point, I went with Shamar Turner as an honorable mention. I think their safety room, I'm really excited to see their safety room, bringing in Kobe Bryant, bringing in Dylan Dinneman from the draft. Like, I really am excited to see what they have in their secondary back there. Their edge room was not addressed very much. They really didn't make too many changes. I think part of that is because, they, kind of get a second year in the system with some of these guys. But I also think, they have some guys coming back. Dio Dangbo is going to be coming back, who's a solid kind of rotational edge setter for you. And then, they drafted Shamar Turner in the second round last year, and he was out with injury. Also, Austin Booker, who showed a lot of flashes in the minimal playtime he had last year. I understand the optimism why they're like, we got some guys. So I wanted to shout out Shamar Turner, second round guy. I think if he can stay healthy, he could flash for you. I went with, this is my favorite pick of this entire exercise across both the AFC and the NFC. It's the one I feel strongest about. I went with Colston Loveland, the tight end.
Yeah.
He, as I said with Tyler Warren on the last episode, he is one of 7 tight ends in the last 2 decades to have 700 yards his rookie season. Now, Harold Fannin and Tyler Warren both had that, so it was just a historically good season for rookie tight ends. But, I mean, he had in the playoff game, he was the first player with 10-plus targets and 130-plus yards in a playoff game at 22 years or younger. The only other player to ever do that was Rob Gronkowski. I mean,
yeah, you're in talks with him.
And I know it sounds crazy, but like this is a guy who is 6'6". I mean, he is a giant individual. He is if Brock Bowers is A+ at pass catching, he is like an A. He is like a solid, really strong A pass catcher, and on top of it, unlike Brock Bowers, no disrespect, that's not what Brock Bowers is asked to do, but he is also he's not a really good, he's a good blocker. He is like a top 20 blocker in the NFL for a tight end, and there's a lot of tight ends. I mean, that's a really good metric. There's a lot of tight ends whose entire existence is like, I'm a blocking tight end in this league. So for Colston Loveland to, as a rookie, not only be an A grade pass catcher, but be really probably a B to B+ like blocker, you just don't see that very often. And I think
comes to mind like George Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, I really genuinely think
Kittle like enjoys blocking. I think so.
We're gonna get to the end of this year, and Colston Loveland will be a slam dunk, bona fide, no debate, top 3 tight end in the NFL. I think he'll be up there with Trey McBride and Brock Bowers. I think that's going to be your 3. These are just the unanimously best tight ends in the league. Everybody else, the conversation starts after them. So, yeah, very excited about Colston Loveland. Very fired up for what he can do this year.
No, that's a fantastic pick, Jake.
I appreciate that.
That was great.
All right, let's go to our final division, the NFC South.
I like this division. This is like a nice little brother. It's like a little brother. Like, yeah, cute. Do some stuff over there.
Yeah, over there. Take the picture. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, I'll let you start with the Bucks.
Oh, we're starting with Bucks. Okay. Another offense. A lot of offense. But yeah, for me, it's that dude we saw last year just doing crazy stuff he did. But Emeka Egbuka, now with Mike Evans now gone, is Chris Godwin still there?
He is. They still have Jalen McMillan, and they drafted Ted Hurst.
So hopefully, I think you sent me something about like that he'll get to play more of a slot role.
Semi-slot. More of a Z. They were lining him up a lot as an X, which is like you're on the line of scrimmage taking press on, and that's not how he's built. He's built to be a Z. He's built to go in motion, be off the line of scrimmage, get cushion, and get open. So
angles and all
that
stuff.
That's at the slot. That's at the Z. Yeah. Okay. So that's he's going to get to do that more.
And I think he will thrive in that thing because I think he's just one of those dudes that is just going to be a generational wide receiver. I just saw him just do crazy catches his rookie season. And if he can, stay healthy and, the Bucs can stay healthy. They had a lot of injuries last year. They have issues right now with the quarterback, and Todd Bowles is on the hot seat too. So a lot of question marks going into the season with the Bucs here, but you should have optimism. Like you had, you were on top of the NFC in that beginning of that season. Even though you were winning like these very tight ball games, but you were still winning. But I think just the injuries caught up to you, and some dramas came up to you, and coming into this season with a little bit of drama as well. But if once money's involved and that gets out of the way, and people that stuff gets settled, I think looking in, I think they do have a really good. They have a really solid team, and they can get back to winning this division like they can. But I am rooting for one team in this division that I think will take the crown. But we'll see. We'll see.
I went with just kind of the secondary in general. I really am excited to see what Jacob Parrish does because they're bringing in Keontae Scott, so that's going to bump him back to be outside. But they also have Benjamin Morrison. They have Zion McCollum. Yeah, I'm kind of just putting their whole secondary on that spotlight. So that's what I got for the Bucs. Not too much there. But I am excited about the additions they made on their defense, and I think Ted Hurst just send him out on deep fade routes all game long at the X, and that opens up room for Chris Godwin and Emeka Ibuka. And I think that's how this offense needs to be operating. So excited about that. All right, let's talk about the Saints next.
Ooh, my team.
Oh,
yeah, I believe in this team.
You're a big Saints guy this year. Okay.
Yeah, I've grown smitten of them.
Okay.
It was just Tyler Shuck. That back half of that season, I thought really popped. I think the Saints have been slowly but surely fixing their books, so they're getting better there. I like Tyler Shuck. Kellen Moore, I think, showed he can be a solid head coach in this league. I know they didn't win a lot of games, but I think I like what.
Very impressed with his. Like
what they got cooking up. And then their first round pick this year with Jordan Tyson. Excited to see what they do. They're giving the reins to Tyler Shuck, so I'm really excited to see what they can get out of him and see if he is that guy, or is it just kind of a guy we were like, okay, this guy that just came out of nowhere. We didn't really have tape on him. Now we got tape on him. We figured him out, and he'll be kind of whatever. But I'm really hoping he is that guy. The Saints need him. They need a guy. And if they've got him, that'd be awesome if you're a Saints fan. And then all it is about is then just attacking this offseason, going to the draft, and making your team as best as possible. Because I mean, as this division is constituted right now, this is one of the weakest divisions I think in the league, especially in the NFC. And I mean, at that point, all you need to do is just, if you could just win your division, you get a playoff game at home, you win that one, then it's up in the air. But who knows? It's the playoffs. But yeah, the Saints. So Tyler Shuck and Jordan Tyson, hopefully, these two become a really good duo in the league, and with Chris Olave there as well.
Yeah, I would say I do like the Tyler Shuck pick. I think it's the clear kind of big question about this team. That said, for me,
this is another candidate for those teams that maybe have like a second year guy.
Well, to be honest, out of last year's rookie quarterbacks, which it's really 4 of them, right? It's Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, if you want to count him. But Tyler Shuck, I think of that group, I am the most optimistic about him being a good quarterback in the NFL at this point. Like he's just got such a high floor, and he's an older player. He's 27, but despite that, he has not actually played a ton of snaps. I think he's got like half the snaps Cam Ward does, even though Cam Ward is like, as far as college and pro go.
Well, he didn't start this season, right? It was Spence. They started Spencer
but he also didn't play a ton in college either. So it kind of, that's kind of how we end up here. But I mean, despite that, there are questions because, if he hasn't played a lot of football, is there more that we can tap of his potential, or is he just a finished product? If he is just a finished product, he's still pretty solid. Like he is going to be at minimum a solid starter for them. He is very good at progression. He really did a good job of limiting mistakes last year. He did have some, but for the most part, it was limited. He's really good. I thought he was really good at like kind of working intermediate and deep passes. I felt like just for a rookie, he was really advanced in how he was able to kind of make that happen and I guess almost manipulate the defense. So I really am excited about what he brings. I think it's very telling that they did not bring in any competition for him this offseason.
No, they handed him the reins.
He's a second round pick. Like they're not. This isn't Jackson Dart. This isn't Cam Ward, where it's like, well, obviously you're our guy because we have to make you work until you don't work. They could easily like just go a different direction other than Tyler Shuck. So I thought it was very telling that they.
That's a lot of it.
So
that must feel good to have that confidence.
Exactly. Like I think it shows a lot of confidence. So. Good pick. I went with Kelvin Banks Jr., just a stud of a tackle last year. He was a early first-round pick for them. Very similar to the Jets' offensive line, where the Jets have Membu and Fashanu. They have Kelvin Banks from the 25 draft and Talise Fuaga on the other side from the 24 draft. So they're doing that exact same thing where they have 2 tackles they have picked early and both seem to be hitting. And adding David Edwards to that mix, they still have Eric McCoy, who is a little injury prone, but like if Cesar Ruiz can kind of get his stuff together, like this is a really, really formidable offensive line. So Kelvin Banks, excited to see what he does in year 2. All right. Talk about the Panthers. I have 2 people. I'll let you go first, though.
This one's offense and defense. Going with the guy they paid a lot of money to this offseason, and Jalen Phillips. Really need him to pop, former Dolphin, and then former Eagle as well. He's a freak of nature, and he can be really, really good when he's on the field. It's the problem is, can he stay on the field? And then when he's on the field, like, can he, continue that, can he stay consistent while he's on the field? So, and Carolina paid you a bunch of money, so I'm hoping he, as a former Dolphin, I'm rooting for him, obviously, and then rooting for another former Dolphin too for the next team we talk about here. So yeah, rooting for him, and then Bryce Young. Had a, I guess he was listening to the pod. He heard us talking about him, he's saying this is a big year for him. And, he backed into a playoff berth, but hey, it is all you need to do. All you got to do is get in. And he got in and he kind of balled out. And if it wasn't for a drop on a key moment in the game, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? But gave the Rams a run for their money in both games, in the regular season and playoffs. So yeah, so looking forward to see what his progression looks like. I thought David Canales could have won Coach of the Year. I thought for what he kind of did, because we kind of started the season like, oh well, it's same old Carolina, and then they kind of turned it around. So yeah, just hopefully Bryce Young's progression, and I'll add an honorable mention, their receiving core, a very young receiving core. I know Xavier Legette has been kind of getting hounded on him to get better as the guy they drafted in, I want to say the first round, or was it second round?
He was a first rounder.
So people have been talking about him, him stepping up and being that guy that they drafted when they got him on draft night. So yeah, a little bit of both sides.
Yeah, I have a player on each side as well. Talking about Xavier Legette, I'm going to stay in that same room for a second. Yeah, they had Teteroa McMillan last year, who I think, again, he is an ascending piece to this offense. Just fantastic rookie season, 1 rookie of the year. I picked Jalen Coker, which, like, it's low-hanging fruit. If you've been watching or following, like, Panthers media, Jalen Coker is, like, the big stud guy that everybody thinks is going to break out. He just got a contract from Carolina, which, maybe, honestly, would not surprise me at all if we get to the end of this season and we find he is severely underpaid. I think he's only getting, like, $15 million a year. So I'm excited to see what Jalen Coker does. He finished last season very strong, so it seems like they're also banking on that being more the reality of what we're going to see going forward, because, again, they decided to extend him. And then I also went with Mike Jackson, the corner that plays opposite of J.C. Horn. He was tied for the most passes defended last year, and he ranked 14th out of 134 in passer rating given up, in terms of it was lower on the end. He was not towards the high end of passer rating, just to clarify. But yeah, I mean, him, I talked about Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley as, like, I think they're going to be the best corner duo in the league at the end of the year. Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn, I don't think they're going to be the best, but, like, they are going to be one of those cornerback tandems that I think we hold in high esteem. So very excited to see what they do. All right, Christian, one more team left. The Atlanta Falcons. Who you got?
This is an offensive one for me, and I think it's two more obvious ones. Tua, like a former Dolphin, no hate toward him. We had some fun times with Tua here. Sucks it couldn't work out, but he's now moved on to a newer team, and showing him hate and all that stuff, that's just disgusting. Please do not do that. Like you don't have to root for the guy if you don't want to, but like, just don't be vile to the dude. That's still a human being at the end of the day. So I know it didn't work out, but
be nice.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
So yeah, rooting for Tua. Tua there, and then another guy they just paid him, Drake London. A guy that was I laughed when they drafted him during draft night, but I mean, since that day, like Drake London has been proven himself to be a very very good receiver in this league, and he got paid for it, got compensated for it. So shout out to Drake London. So yeah, Tua and Drake London. So
love the Drake London shout. I'm so happy that he got paid. I think he really, like, you look at every advanced metric, you look at just everything tells you that dude is around the 8th best receiver in the league. Being the 8th best receiver in this league is something else. Like, that is
pretty solid. Yeah,
that's
player.
really awesome.
Really
so love Drake London. So okay, I kind of want to tell a little bit of a story with this one.
Ooh, story time.
It's very fitting that we did this team last because, as I have been, doing my research and gathering my players, obviously I focused on a lot of defensive tackles. I focused on Byron Murphy. I focused on Walter Nolan. I focused on Jalen Redmond, Mason Graham. Like, I had a lot of defensive tackles on my list. And every time I was looking at the data and the stats for these defensive tackles, there was one player that was always hovering around them. It was Brandon Dorless, their defensive tackle in Atlanta. Now, I'm like vaguely aware of who Brandon Dorless is, but like I haven't dug a lot into Brandon Dorless tape. But I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of it, but I threw on like a game's worth of some plays just to see what he's about. And I put him on my list for my player, like breakout player. He's going into year 3. He's already had a lot of just really good production statistically, so I think that'll continue to ascend. Again, he is right in that same range with like my other guys that I have on this list. And he's going to get to play next to Deshaun Hand, who Deshaun Hand was with the Chargers last year. They Chargers do this thing where they find a great defensive tackle and rehabilitate them and then send them off into the wilderness. Deshaun Hand was that for them. So they did it with Poona Ford. They just brought in, who is it? Dalvin Tomlinson. It was Dalvin Tomlinson. So, Deshaun Hand is now there, rehabilitated, next to Brandon Dorless. I think that could be a really good it's not even rehabilitated. Nothing's wrong with him. It's just like, I don't know what it is. They just go to LA and they just ball out. But and then they get paid. So yeah. And then I can't not mention Xavier Watts, my guy from last year. He was their 2nd round pick at safety. I said, man, this guy could be really, really good this year. He was sensational. 92 tackles, 11 passes defended, 5 interceptions, tied the rookie record for their team.
Damn.
From the safety spot.
Yeah, from the safety. No, that's crazy.
Like, Xavier Watts ball, dude. So I am super excited about Xavier Watts going into his 2nd year. And he's still staying under Jeff Ulbrich, so he's going to have that continuity, even though there is a lot of change with this team. And he's back there. He's got Jesse Bates and Bobby Bowman hanging out with him back there. Or Billy Bowman, not Bobby, Billy. Billy Bowman hanging out back there.
Shout out Kevin Stefanski.
Also, that reminds me, again, just a shout out, honorable mention, Bijan. Yeah. I got to pick Bijan. It's not to say Bijan is I think for what we have seen from Bijan these past 2 seasons, I still think he's considered unanimously one of the 2 best running backs in the league, and I still think somehow he's underrated. He's just been so amazing these past 2 years. Kevin Stefanski's system is going to be geared to give him as much productivity as possible. So do not be surprised.
Oh yeah, like Nick Chubb, like when Nick Chubb was
exactly.
That dude.
And Bijan's even better than Nick Chubb. Like, I love Nick Chubb, but Bijan is just a totally different kind of player. Like, he is going to be able to do so much with Bijan. So Bijan for Offensive Player of the Year, I am slamming those odds. Like, I think he is going to be on that very, very short list of real candidates. So that is the list, everybody. We did it. We talked for a long time on this one. Really on both of them, but it was a lot of fun, Christian, catching up with you.
Yeah.
All right, well, take it easy, everybody. We love you. We cherish you. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. You know the drill. Christian, good luck with your move, and we will catch you in a few weeks when we start prediction season. We're right around the corner.
In a location, too.
All right, man. See you. All right, bye, everybody.
Boy.